You are now listening to the Vegan Stuff podcast with Caavakushi.
Hosting this podcast today are our two AI hosts, Sam and Kim. If you simply can't get enough of us, go to Caavakushi.com and sign up for our vegan newsletter and get our free 7-day high-protein vegan meal plan. And we also have some good news. We will be releasing our first ever cookbook pretty soon, so stay tuned. Hey, don't forget to follow us on our socials too.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Vegan Stuff with Caavakushi. It's Sam here, and I'm absolutely buzzing to get into the vegan journey of someone truly inspiring with you all today.
And hi for me. We're always excited to explore, the different corners of the vegan world. And today, we've got a really great story. We're putting the spotlight on Lucy Watson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, from reality TV fame to becoming this really passionate voice for animals and a successful vegan entrepreneur too. Her path is, well, it's pretty impressive.
Totally. And we've gathered quite a bit of info, haven't we, from her own website, interviews, news articles, just trying to really get a handle on how veganism has shaped her career, her personal choices, even her plans for her family now.
So you should get ready for some fascinating insights and maybe a pun or two along the way.
Oh, definitely, because that's just how we roll. Or should I say sprout?
Okay. So grab your favorite vegan snack, settle in. Let's do this deep dive into the vegan world of Lucy Watson.
Right. Where do we start? Maybe right back at the beginning. Her connection with animals started super young.
It really did, around age 5, wasn't it? Living on a working farm.
Yeah, and she had this kind of light bulb moment, realizing the connection between the animals she saw every day and, well, the meat on her plate.
Apparently, she even questioned the chicken she was served at 5.
I know. That's pretty profound for that age. It clearly set her on the path to vegetarianism really early on.
And wasn't there that story about a lamb? Maisie.
Ah, yes, Maisie. Such a touching story. It sounds like she formed a real bond with this lamb.
Like a pet, almost.
Exactly. And then, well, Maisie disappeared. You can probably guess why. And that experience, it seems, really had a massive impact. It sort of cemented that vegetarian commitment for her, right, from a young age.
It just shows how those early experiences really stick with you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Shaping your values.
Definitely. So, okay, she was vegetarian from quite young. But what was the trigger to go fully vegan?
Right, the big leap. That happened later around 2015 after she watched Cowspiracy.
Ah, the documentary. Yeah, that's been a catalyst for a lot of people.
Totally. It sounds like it really opened her eyes to the realities of the dairy and egg industry. Stuff she hadn't fully grasped before.
Yeah, she actually said something like, let me get this right. I'd never appreciated just how cruel the dairy industry and the egg industry are. And after really understanding that, it just didn't make sense for me to continue to eat dairy as an animal lover.
Wow. That really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Her motivation.
It really does. And it's a journey so many of us can relate to, that sort of deepening understanding. Viva actually notes she went vegan in 2016, so right around then.
So for her, it's clearly much more than just diet.
Oh, absolutely. It's a core ethical commitment, a promise she made to the animals. She even said, for me, veganism is a promise I made to the animals, one I will never break.
That's powerful. And she hasn't exactly kept that promise quiet, has she? She's woven it into her professional life in so many ways.
It's like her whole career became this amazing vegan smorgasbord.
Love it. And you're right. Look at her cookbooks. Feed Me Vegan in 2017, then Feed Me Vegan for all occasions in 2018.
And they weren't just, celebrity cookbooks. Feed Me Vegan got recognized by PETA as a best vegan cookbook.
Right, and it was an Amazon bestseller too.
Exactly. Getting that nod from PETA really boosts credibility, doesn't it? And shows how mainstream vegan cooking was becoming. Her whole aim was just sharing her own recipes, making it feel less daunting.
Making it accessible.
Yes.
And she even opened a restaurant, didn't you? Tell your friends.
She did, yeah, with her sister and her dad. It did close after a couple of years, which is a shame, but...
It's a tough business, the restaurant world.
Totally. But just opening it shows that commitment to making veganism more visible, more appealing, maybe learn some lessons for future stuff too.
Could be. And beyond food, there's Creature Jewelry. That started way back in 2014.
Yeah, the name itself kind of gives it away, doesn't it? Creature Jewelry. It's a luxury brand. And knowing her strong ethics, you've got to assume it's all cruelty-free. She keeps releasing new ranges, so it must be doing well.
And then the makeup line. Basic, Bitch, you gotta love that name.
Yeah, it's fun. And importantly, it's explicitly cruelty-free.
So consistent across the board then. Beauty, fashion.
Exactly. Aligning all her business ventures with those core vegan principles.
It really feels like she's built this like vegan ecosystem around her brand. What else has she done professionally?
Well, there were the Feed Me vegan ready meals. Remember those? Stocked in Waitrose. Gluten-free options, too.
Oh, yeah. Making convenient vegan food even easier to find.
Right. And she co-hosted that global vegan food series, Eating Plants.
Yeah.
Taking the message international.
She's such a powerhouse for promoting veganism. And it's not just her own projects, is it? She's partnered with some big names.
Definitely. Her ambassadorships really highlight her commitment. She's a global ambassador for PETA, doing campaigns against fur, encouraging vegetarianism.
Important work.
Yeah. And she was a vegan ambassador for bulk powders. That's interesting, alongside massive athletes like Anthony Joshua and Katarina Johnson-Thompson.
Wow, that's huge. Having elite athletes backing veganism really helps smash those old stereotypes about protein and strength, doesn't it?
Totally. And she dipped into fast fashion, too, collaborating with Nasty Gal on a summer collection.
Okay. Do we know if that was all vegan materials?
The sources didn't specify every item, but given her stance, you'd imagine she pushed hard for vegan-friendly options in the design process.
Makes sense. And she was the face of Puma's sports style collection, too.
Yeah, and apparently the only UK ambassador for PUMA at the time, again, suggesting an alignment with brands offering vegan choices.
And I remember reading about her promoting some boots from Next.
Oh, yeah, the Black Forever Comfort Knee High-Cuffed Boots. She specifically pointed out they were faux leather, of course.
See, that's actively promoting the vegan alternative within mainstream fashion, not just putting her face to it.
Exactly. And she's mentioned facing challenges before on photo shoots, with non-vegan clothes or accessories. So now she makes a point of checking beforehand, avoiding leather and stuff.
Good for her.
But first, a quick word from our sponsor, Caavakushi.
Did you know we have a vegan search engine, a vegan forum, a vegan newsletter, and so much more coming soon? So why not check us out at Caavakushi.com.
Okay, veganism is central to her career. But how has it impacted her personally, her health, her lifestyle?
Well, initially, like a lot of people transitioning, there was an adjustment. She mentioned losing some weight early on.
Right, figuring out the balance.
Yeah, she put it down to maybe not getting enough healthy fats when she first switched from more processed stuff to whole foods. It's a common learning curve.
Totally normal. How does she feel now?
She reports feeling much better, more energy, lighter, less bloated. She focuses on whole wheat, whole grain options, cut back on refined sugar.
But still enjoys treats.
Oh, yeah. Fruit, dark chocolate, vegan ice cream, enjoys them in moderation. Sounds pretty balanced.
Definitely. Any favorite ingredients she relies on?
She's mentioned nutritional yeast, the classic nooch, for cheesy flavor in things like tofu scramble or sauces.
A vegan staple.
For sure. And garlic, obviously. And tofu, she uses it a lot. Breakfast scrambles, adding protein here and there.
Versatile stuff. And her lifestyle beyond food.
Seems pretty healthy all around. She rarely drinks alcohol, prioritizes staying hydrated, enjoys low-intensity exercise like Pilates and yoga a couple of times a week.
Nice.
And she's been quite open about having maybe less healthy eating habits back in her early 20s before she went vegan. So it seems like a really positive shift for her overall well-being.
That's really great to hear, that positive evolution. But it hasn't all been smooth sailing, has it? I know she's copped some unfair criticism.
Yeah, sadly, that's true. She's faced body shaming, particularly after going vegan. People making awful comments about her weight, even calling her a skeleton.
Oh, that's just horrible. And so unnecessary.
Totally. And she pointed out quite rightly that she faced criticism whatever size she was. She said, regardless of the size you are, there is always going to be criticism, and that's what I struggled with.
It's just awful how people feel entitled to comment on bodies. And being a public vegan figure probably attracts even more scrutiny, right?
Yeah.
Often from people who don't really get it.
Exactly. She found dealing with all the negativity and, frankly, the closed-minded opinions about veganism quite draining. Isolating, even.
I can imagine.
Yeah, she shared something that probably resonates with a lot of vegans. The hardest part is other people's opinions. There is a lot of negativity. It is quite draining, and it is hard to have a conversation with people that you are close to who don't know what they're talking about.
Oof. Yeah, that hits home. It really highlights that emotional labor involved sometimes.
Did you know we have a vegan search engine, a vegan forum, a vegan newsletter, and so much more coming soon. So why not check us out at Caavakushi.com.
Welcome back to Vegan Stuff with Caavakushi.
But now she's moving into this really exciting new phase, becoming a mom, with her husband, James Dunmore, who's also vegan.
Right, so naturally they're planning to raise their baby vegan.
Absolutely. They referred to their baby as a miracle baby, and they're planning a vegan upbringing, which predictably kicked off a whole lot of discussion.
And sadly, a lot of criticism too, that whole mum-shaming thing.
Yeah, it really flared up. Suddenly, everyone's an expert on infant nutrition, right?
It seems like it.
Yeah.
She faced a lot of questions. People worried about whether a vegan diet is adequate for a baby, concerns about malnourishment, or that kids should choose later.
All the usual myths. How did she handle that?
She's been really clear and firm, which is great to see. She basically said, a well-planned vegan diet can absolutely provide everything a baby needs to thrive.
Just need to be conscious, right? Like any diet.
Exactly. She said, very achievable to get everything you need on a vegan diet. You just need to make a conscious effort to meet all your nutritional needs. She emphasizes being mindful about nutrients like protein.
Good for her. And she also shut down those ridiculous claims about veganism and fertility issues, didn't she?
Oh, yeah. It's so frustrating those myths persist. She basically said, look, there are people who are crack addicts who get pregnant. Being vegan is not going to stop you.
Ah, fair point. Bluntly put. Shows her frustration with those baseless ideas.
Totally. It's great she's standing strong and seems really well informed. And the sources did mention, NHS guidelines emphasize careful planning.
Right. B12 supplementation is key for vegan babies. That's standard advice. It's about responsible parenting, whatever the diet.
And one article mentioned a practical challenge, too, finding suitable vegan infant formula if needed, as many have cow's milk or animal-derived additives, even in soy versions.
Yeah, that's definitely something for vegan parents to research and be aware of.
It just shows, though, how deeply ingrained veganism is for her. It shapes these huge life decisions, like raising a family. It makes you think about her view on the whole vegan movement's growth.
Yeah, she seems genuinely amazed by it. She described the increase as baffling, but in a really positive way.
Seeing the numbers jump up so quickly.
Exactly. She mentioned the huge rise in UK vegans in just a couple of years and said, it speaks volumes to me. She seems really optimistic about more people making the switch.
That's a great outlook. And she's not just watching it happen, she's actively part of driving that change, isn't she? Being a Veganuary ambassador, for instance.
Yes. Announced back in December 2022. She was even on their podcast. Just another way she's encouraging people to give plant-based eating a try.
And she's done other advocacy work, too. I remember seeing her on TV.
Ah, yes. Her appearance on This Morning. That was quite something.
What happened?
She directly challenged a turkey farmer about the whole idea of humane slaughter. Really pushed back on the ethics of it all.
Wow, takes guts.
Definitely. And she's also an ambassador for Viva, the vegan campaigning charity. So yeah, she's really using her platform as a voice for animals.
It's honestly so inspiring seeing how Lucy Watson has integrated her veganism into, well, everything. Her career, her personal life, now her family. It's been fascinating digging into it all.
Absolutely. Her story is such a great example of how strong ethical beliefs can really guide your whole life path, and how someone in the public eye can use that influence for a cause they truly believe in.
It really makes you think, doesn't it, about how the conversation around veganism keeps evolving and the impact individuals like her are having.
Yeah. So maybe the key takeaway from this deep dive into Lucy Watson's world is the power you find when you align what you do with what you believe, how that can lead to a really fulfilling and impactful life.
Well said. Thanks so much for joining us for this exploration of Lucy Watson's vegan life. We hope it's given you some food for thought.
But unintended.
Maybe. And perhaps some inspiration for your next delicious plant-based meal.
Until our next vegan adventure together, keep exploring the wonderful world of plant-based living.
Did you know we have a vegan search engine, a vegan forum, a vegan newsletter, and so much more coming soon? So why not check us out at Caavakushi.com. Thanks for listening. We hope you liked this episode. If you did, we'd really appreciate it if you could give us 5 stars on whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. Also, we would be so appreciative if you could just share this episode or this podcast with all your friends and family who are vegans or vegan friendly. We're also really excited because we are going to be launching something really cool pretty soon on the site. So keep an eye out for that. And we will see you really soon with a new episode.